What's up, everyone? Welcome to Betamax. My name is Fidel. Joining me on this episode is Jose and Andrew.
Hi.
Say what's up, Jose.
What's up, Jose?
Hey, get closer. You can't hear you.
What's up, Jose?
There you go.
What's up, Jose?
What's up, Andrew?
Hey.
You've done that one, Laugh Now, Die Later, right?
I've done 2 podcasts.
You've done 2.
I did that kid's podcast.
Yeah.
And he just did it on his phone.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. And I did this like podcast with this guy that like loves Deftones.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to freaking Woodbruh.
Woodbruh?
Yeah. He like runs like a radio station wherever he's from.
Yeah.
I forgot where he's from. But he has a podcast where he just talks about like he just talks to people that like Deftones.
Oh, okay.
But then like the podcast that we did together, we don't talk about Deftones a whole lot. It was just like about a bunch of other stuff. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's what's up.
We talked about Despise You.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
I've been wanting to get you on here for a while.
Well,
It's just me lagging on asking.
yeah, well, you're a bad friend. So.
Yeah. Thank you. How long have we known each other now?
I was like 20 when I met both of you guys, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Barking Backwards was 2000. When was that Infest show? 2013, right?
Was it?
January 2013.
Something like that.
So like the year before that is when Barking Backwards started, and that's when we started playing shows with ACXDC, and then it's been like, what is that? 12 years?
I know. It's a long time.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, just a little chap.
That's crazy, man. You were 20 when we met?
Mm-hmm.
How old were we in 2013?
Like 25.
Really?
No. Yeah, 25.
Yeah, fuck. I remember when Jose asked me to be in ACXDC because he was quitting.
Oh,
It was in
yeah?
the parking lot of that, what's that place in Baldwin Park? You guys play with Capitalist Casualties?
Oh, it was a like a VFW hall.
Yeah. And I said no.
You said no?
I think I did. I don't remember. I mean, obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, I remember that. I was pretty excited because I really like Jose.
What was your introduction into like aggressive music?
Okay. So I guess like going way, way back, I first started listening to, I guess like my first heavy listening experience was stuff like POD and like System of a Down.
How old were you at this time?
Probably like 7 or 8, I think, because I got my first guitar when I was 9.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty young, dude. That's dope.
Yeah, dude. To say like I've been playing guitar for over 20 years is crazy.
That is crazy. Jinx, you owe me some Coke.
What kind?
Zero.
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
oh.
Zero sugar, homie.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I probably like 7 or 8. I got my first guitar at 9. My sister, who was listening to like Korn and like Limp Bizkit at the time, showed me that stuff, and then all the other stuff came, and then my dad got me a Motorhead live CD.
Oh shit.
And then I had Ozzy live in Budokan.
Yeah.
And I listened to that shit like religiously. And then
That's so random but cool.
dude, yeah, like that I actually listened to like the live in Budokan CD like 2 days ago, and it's like I think that's so much sicker than his like studio stuff. It's so badass.
Yeah.
Because like Zach Wilde's just like ripping so hard on that shit. But after that, so I got into like System of a Down and POD like after that, I guess. And then my brother got the System of a Down CD and I got the POD CD, and we both like hated it. So we switched.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when like it all like kind of changed for me, like
Yeah.
What System of a Down album?
Toxicity.
Fuck
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
It came
yeah.
with like the DVD too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if like you guys remember or if you guys ever got it,
No.
but it came with like, it's the CD and then behind it was like a DVD, and it had like all the music videos for the record, and it had like a live performance of them. It was
Yeah.
fucking sick. Changed my life, dude.
Yeah.
So like from there on, I kind of like got really obsessed with guitar music and kind of wanted to listen to like everything else. So I had a family friend that had like Sad But True on like a mix CD, like Metallica. And then he also had like One and a couple other Metallica songs. And then there was like Stained on it.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Stained and like, I think like Deep Purple, or maybe my dad showed me Deep Purple. I can't really remember. So I really started to like Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked my dad to get me a Metallica CD. And that's when Saint Anger came out.
Oh, shit.
So my dad got me Saint Anger,
Yeah.
which was like, looking back at it, it's like, you know, I really liked it, but now it's like, damn, that shit was really fucking bad.
You don't like the volleyball snare?
I do. It's just the songs are like fucking 12 minutes too long, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And then I kind of got older. I started playing guitar. I got into other like metal shit. I was into like 3 Days Grace at one point. Like
Hell yeah.
my shit was like all over the place,
Yeah.
dude. Like I always like feel like I'm like when people come to the studio and people ask like what I'm into, I always feel like I'm like an outsider because like I don't like just like hardcore and
Yeah.
you know heavy shit. Dude, that first 3 Days Grace records is
Dude.
fucking sick.
Hell
dude.
yeah, dude.
It's so good. Shortly after that, I heard Dead Kennedys and the Misfits, and
How old were you about this time?
that was like 7th grade.
I was like 12.
Yeah, so like I like as I like started getting like a little bit older and older, like I was like finding like different like sorts of aggressive music, and I mean like,
That's a pretty cool trajectory, though.
is it? Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Like when I first heard Black Flag, like it clicked almost instantly that I was like, dude, I've heard this band before because I like played Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, like fucking, what is Police Truck, you know?
Yeah.
And, or not, that's Dead Kennedys. I'm talking about Rise Above.
Rise Above.
Dead Kennedys too. Like when I first
Yeah.
heard that shit, I was like, dude, I've heard this shit before. So my whole world was kind of like, it was like, damn, this all kind of came full circle in like a weird moment.
Yeah.
And so I started getting into like punk like that, like Circle Jerks and like the Casualties and typical like starter pack punk bullshit. And then, like after that, maybe I want to say like 8th or 9th grade, I found Dystopia.
Ooh.
And then that shit like kind of blew my mind because I was like, I've never heard anything this like
That's so dope.
aggressive
Yeah.
before in my entire life. And then along came with that was like Infest, Crossed Out, Spaz, Charles Bronson, and then
What was a Dystopia like record or song?
Anger Brought by Disease.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that band in general, like, it's an experience, bro. like I like listening to that particularly like with headphones on.
Yeah.
You know, like it just hits different.
Yeah, dude. Because I remember there was like metalcore riffs that I would hear that would be like one string sort of thing. And then I heard Anger Brought by Disease and they kind of did that, but in like an evil way. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? You know? So that's when like everything really changed for me because then that's when I started like planting my feet and like, this is what I really fucking like, you know?
Yeah.
Is that like at this around the same time when you started like getting creative with
Yes.
making music?
The exact same time, actually.
Okay.
I started like writing my own songs at that age, and I started to. That's when I really started to like record myself and realize like how recording worked, like how things start to like you can like layer guitars over guitars,
Right.
you know, and then like record something else over that, and it'll just be like this one piece of music. And never occurred to me like, oh yeah, bands don't record. Well, they do, but they don't all record in the same room all the time. It's all like
Yeah.
layered. So like that was like the time where I joined my first band too, which wasn't a band that sounded like any of those bands that I was into.
Yeah.
It was like unfortunately a deathcore band.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
But what was sick was I was like a little like I was like a little like crusty kid
Yeah.
in a deathcore band playing breakdowns. It was pretty funny. Yeah. And then I ruined my life for like a year or two listening to that shit. Yeah. Yeah. And then the rest was kind of like history.
Kinda
really.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know you went into that journey, that story with Laugh Now, Die Later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I listened to that episode and you had said like he recorded on his iPod. Like, I think it sounds cool, even though there's like a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
But I did listen to the episode and you do go into detail on like your musical journey. But another reason why I wanted to have you on this one is because you guys didn't touch on Dead Stare.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, so how many bands would you say you've been in, like, in total?
Oh man.
Not including the current, like the two main ones you're in right now.
Fuck, dude. I mean, I mean, like maybe like a baker's dozen, you know,
Yeah.
like maybe like, I don't know, 12, 13 bands or something. None of them like did anything until like I started playing the music that I actually liked, which was like, you know, fast shit. Like
Yeah.
Barking Backwards was like the first band that I ever did that something where like I knew like something was happening. Like
yeah.
maybe not like with the band, but like within like myself, where I was like, I think I'm finding like kind of who I am like creatively
Yeah.
through that band, you know?
I loved Barking Backwards, dude.
Dude, thank you. Because I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I look back at it and I'm like, fuck. Well, like, you know, when I was also 19, 20, like writing like, you know, songs that didn't like necessarily make sense, but like I can see that there was like passion in
Yeah.
it, you know?
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, like I can look back at that and be like, yeah, that was just like kind of like a part of the journey, you know? Like we got to play with you guys a lot and we got to like play with like other cool bands and you know, we got to play the very first Infest reunion show.
Yeah.
Like, which was like that's when I knew like, okay, I'm doing something because this is a band that I listened to in high school where I only dreamt about covering their songs and all of a sudden I'm, you know, post high school a few years later I'm playing with them their first show back, you know. It's pretty
Dude,
crazy.
That's why I fuck with you, dude. See you, dog.
Do you remember the feeling of getting asked to play that?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember what was your thought process when you were being asked?
So like I would see Joe D'Annunzio like float around on Facebook and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I remember like his profile picture was like it was a cake that just said Infest on it. I don't know if you guys remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know
I
that?
remember that.
So I was like, oh dude, I wonder if that's like actually him. So I just like added him on like Facebook.
Yeah.
And like shortly after that, I found like Chris Dodge and then I found Matt Domino. So I just added them on Facebook like a
Yeah.
little fucking freak, you know?
Yeah.
And I started posting about the band more. And it was probably like a week before that show happened as I got like a message from Joe D'Annunzio. It was like, hey, it's Joe from Infest. Give me a call. And I was like, what the
Holy shit.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? And
Yeah.
he just put his number. And it was like 6:30 in the morning, dude.
Yeah.
So I was like, do I call him now? He sent this message like 15 minutes ago. Maybe I should just call him. I called him and I was still in bed and I was like, hello? And he was like, Andrew, what's up, dude? And I was like, I was like, and I was like, just like acting like I knew. I was like, Joe, what's up, dude? And he was like, yeah, you know, I really see what you're doing. And, you know, do you guys want to open for us? And I was like, what the fuck? And my brother was like half asleep because we shared a room. And he was just like, what's going on? And I was like, it's Joe from Infest. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. And I was just like freaking out.
Yeah.
Literally a week later, that show happened. It's crazy.
Dude.
That was like one of the craziest days of my entire life.
That was a crazy show, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was.
dude.
I was in line 8 a.m. to get into that show.
Dude. I remember like showing up at like, because it was a matinee, like showing up at like 10 or like 11 whenever they told us to get there, and that line was like,
That line was nuts.
I like to this day I still haven't seen a like a hardcore show with a line like that before. You know,
I was gonna be there either way, dude. You know,
Dude, yeah.
I just know that like I'm glad I didn't have to wait in that line.
yeah, me too, dude.
I had to wait in that line.
Man. Man, I thought
was
you guys
worth
were
it.
friends, dude.
I know, dude. What the fuck, dude? Nah, it was worth it though.
Yeah,
It was worth it. It was a fun show.
man.
I remember all you guys wearing the Demon Crew shirts.
Oh yeah,
While performing.
dude,
That was
yeah.
tight.
Oh, dude, that was so fun, dude.
yeah. I wish I still had that shirt, dude. I don't know where it went.
I still have mine.
Fuck.
I know. I don't have because I had that one and I had the one with the B. Do you remember those?
B for bastard.
The Demon
What?
Crew, like
Yeah.
the B one. Yeah, I had that one too. I don't know what happened.
What was it B for?
I don't remember. It was like Sergio made like a limited
Buster.
amount, maybe. Yeah. No, like a B, like zzz.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant the letter B.
No, yeah, it was like a yellow B.
Oh, that's sick.
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember those?
No, I don't.
I think you made it up, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they dreamt it. I'm lying. Don't believe me. I'm lying.
You seem delusional.
I am. I'm very delusional.
You look different, too.
Because I have long hair now. That's why.
Are you
Yeah.
okay, dude?
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah, that was like a very pivotal moment in my, like, I guess, creative career. Yeah, that was the first time I ever got paid to play a show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got paid $100.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that crowd was massive. So
it was tight, dude. Yeah.
how much longer after that was like the end for Barking Backwards?
Really soon. Yeah, that band didn't last very long because there's kind of like a pattern where like I would like start bands, and once I noticed that it was kind of just me kind of carrying everything, I would just kind of get over it and want to start the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say like the Infest show happened January 2013, and the last show happened November 2013.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was that Excruciating Terror Despise You show. You
That's
guys
right.
played that too.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Yeah. So that was the last thing. And then shortly after that, I started Deadbeat.
Yeah, I remember Deadbeat's first show at Bridgetown DIY.
Yeah.
Where was Deadbeat the one where you had sent a demo to George?
Yes.
And it was you had sequenced the drums.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember him showing me that like while we were we were in the car.
Yeah.
Like we were on tour, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, Andrew sent me this," and I was like, "Bro, this is fucking tight, dude."
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was like
Was that like the catalyst? Like, was that the start of like you doing what you do like now here with this there?
essentially like that was like where I first started taking like music like really seriously. Not to say I wasn't serious with like any of my other bands, but it was like a different level because I was in a band with people that like were really good.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I always felt like the bands I would start, that was always lacking. Like I couldn't find people that could do anything that like I wanted to do or anything I couldn't like imagine like in my head. Like
It wasn't coming out right.
yeah, like I would write riffs and people just like kind of play this like, basic ass shit where I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, like that's like
But when it clicks though,
it clicked really hard, like really good with Deadbeat.
Yeah.
And that was that was kind of like the start of me like writing songs and figuring out what it is that I liked and like what I didn't like, and like even like looking back, there's a lot that I didn't like with that band too, so it's like still kind of learning from that band.
Yeah. How long did that band last?
That was like probably the longest band that I've started, or the longest that okay, let me rephrase that. That band lasted the longest out of any other band that I've started.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like from 2014 to like 2018.
Oh,
So it
okay.
was like 4 years,
Yeah.
and it was like a good run. Like
Yeah.
we did a tour, we did like trips, and it was like really cool. And that was like my first touring experience was with Deadbeat.
yeah,
Yeah.
and playing with good bands. Like you earned some good bills.
Yeah, it was like kind of like a blessing and a curse because like we would play with like, like every time like Negative Approach came, like we would play with them for some reason, which was cool.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I was like, damn, dude, we're just like we don't like. This was kind of like part of the downfall of the band because we were never like ballsy enough to do something on our own. Like we never like did our own shows, and we never like, we did tours and stuff, but we never like we didn't do it enough. We were just like kind of the band that would play these big shows, and that was kind of it. Not to say I'm not grateful, but yeah, it's like I think that band could have done a lot more, but it just didn't pan out that way.
Yeah.
So then after that, what came first? Was it Beyond Pain or you joining Despise You?
Or both.
Joining Despise You happened during Deadbeat.
During Deadbeat.
Yeah, that was, I want to say that was like summer 2015. No, like summer, yeah, I can't really remember. It was like 2015 or 16 that I joined the band. And it happened like not towards the end, but like it was kind of like in the middle where Deadbeat wanted to do stuff, and we had just got back from that, like our first tour. So that was like, man, the first tour I did with them was like fall 2016, so it had to have been like the year prior because they had like a bunch of other stuff planned with Adam that he had to kind of fulfill.
Mm.
Yeah. Despise You was another crazy like
How did that come
turning
about?
point. Kind of like the same way it kind of happened with. I guess we'll get to this later,
Yeah.
but like, it was like
That's funny. I was gonna ask you about that too.
how I joined Despise You.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
how it seems so similar. No.
Yeah, like so.
Well, first, how important is Despise You to you, like the music that you listen to?
Well, that was like, I think the to me, Despise You is like such an important band culturally
Yeah.
that being asked to be in the band was like the highest honor, you
Yeah.
know, of like the scene that we're in.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Yeah.
kind of like a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Like what else do you do, you know,
Yeah.
after that? At the time I was like, what else do I do? I joined Despise You. Like they took me all over the world and like what's next, you know? Like
Yeah.
I can't even fucking imagine.
Yeah.
Which we'll kind of get to
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But I met Chris Elder at the show, the last Barking Backwards show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I had been friends with them online. Same with like Phil Vera and like Cynthia. Like we're all kind of friends, you know, and we played that show with them and I met them all there in person. And then I started Deadbeat. Deadbeat started playing shows and like I said, like we would open for like we would open for like, you know, bigger bands on bigger shows all the time.
Yeah.
One of the shows, which is kind of crazy to say out loud now. One of the shows was at the Roxy. It was Pig Destroyer, Despise You, Nails, ACXDC, and Deadbeat. And then that's where I met like Todd Jones.
Yeah.
That's where I like kind of started to hang out with Despise You more and more. Deadbeat had done shows with Despise You like the fall of 2015 and that was like when we really got to like, you know, kind of bro down with them and hang out and get to know them and stuff. And like really shortly after that, I was like getting texts from like Chris Elder that was like, hey dude, like what are you up to? How's it going? What'd you do today? Just like kind of random shit.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of be more like, it got more into like, what's Deadbeat up to? Like, you guys like have any plans to like do any touring? You guys have any plans to put out like a record or anything like that? And we kind of talk about that. And then it started to turn into like, oh, like, do you have your passport? Like, do you have this? Like, yeah, you should get one just in case, man. Like, you never know what could happen or why you would need it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, this guy's just telling me to get a passport.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get it when I need it, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I started talking to Chris Elder like more and more over text, and I just kind of got like a random text from him one day that was like, hey, dude, like, are you free later tonight? Like Phil and I, this kind of like is a this is kind of showing their age, but they're like, we want to get on a 3-way phone call with you. And I was like, yeah, dude, for sure. So I got on a 3-way phone call. Or before that, I was like talking to the Deadbeat guys and would kind of tell them like, dude, like Chris Elder's like asking me like weird questions. I think he's gonna ask us to like tour with them or something. And I remember Nick being like, make it happen, dude. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get on the phone with him tonight. And then Nick's like, cool, like let me know how it goes. I get on the phone with them and, you know, they tell me, you know, that Adam's like moving back home and he's gonna get married to his now wife. And they were gonna be looking for a replacement and was wondering if I was interested in jamming.
Yeah.
And at first I was just kind of taken back because I was like, dude, like the first thing I thought was like, this is not like they're like joking with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like I'm like 23 or like 23 years old at the time. I'm like they're fucking kidding around, right?
There's no way, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like
I know it.
Like I'm just a fucking kid, dude. Like, you know, these guys they've been all around the world playing this music and doing it in a very like professional way. And I almost like said no because I was like, oh man, like I have to have a job. Like if they go on tour, like I'm gonna have to quit my job, and I don't really want to do that. And then I had kind of to like slap myself and be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yeah. And I was just kind of like, yeah, dude, I'll fucking jam with you guys. So I did my homework and I fucking learned a bunch of songs. Like, I had to watch the live stuff because like the recordings are ass, you know, like I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah.
But it was either me or Jeff.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I had
And
no idea.
the only reason I got the spot is because Jeff never showed up. Yeah, like I guess he never came for like a jam or anything like that. So I ended up practicing with them like maybe like 3 or 4 times, learning everything, and it like clicked. It was like one of those things where like, oh yeah, dude, it just fucking clicked, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like it was fun, it was easy, like
It made sense.
yeah, it made like total sense. I was like, dude, I need to be in this band, you know?
Yeah.
And then Chris Elder showed up and he was just like, so what's up, dude? You want to be in the band? Like in the practice room? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
And then that's when they were just kind of like, yeah, Chris Elder like popped a bottle. It was like,
Yeah?
it was fucking sick. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was really cool.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah. And then like maybe like almost, maybe not a year. Actually, yeah, almost a year later, I did my first tour with the band in Japan.
How was that?
Incredible.
Yeah.
The best country in the world.
Was that your first time out of the country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess technically. I mean, I went played a show in TJ, but like it's practically Los Angeles, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like San Diego in a way.
Yeah, like I remember like being like scared like going to TJ, and I was like, dude, this is just like Linwood, dude. Like this is Plaza Mexico right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's kind of like how I joined the band. It's just kind of by chance and
Yeah.
right place, right time kind of shit, you know. Yeah.
And then what about Beyond Pain? How did that come about?
Deadbeat quit. Or I stopped. I kind of murder-suicided Deadbeat because I was like, it became the same thing as like my other bands. Like it was like kind of like my worst nightmare because I put so much time into Deadbeat.
Yeah.
And then I started to realize like, oh, dude, like I want to evolve sonically and like as a musician where like these guys kind of want to stay like a certain way.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, that's like totally fine, you know. But at the time, it was like I took it real personal and like I was just like, you know what, dude, like I don't want to do this anymore. If you guys aren't interested in evolving as a band and like changing our sound and trying new things, and like I don't think I want to do this. And like that was it. You know, we had like a meeting, and you know, Nick and Josh were like really upset and like kind of sad, and so was I. But like, you know, it was kind of for the better because like Nick is still like one of my best friends, and like I still love Josh very much, and I don't even see Daniel Bowen anymore. He's like not MIA, but he's just like out being like a civilian somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, an NPC.
Well, because he was within.
He was in Beyond Pain.
Yeah, he was.
So like it was my idea to be like, hey, look, we should just start a new band if these guys don't want to do this kind of stuff. And Daniel was like, yeah, let's just fucking do it. And I've always wanted to be in a band where it was kind of like a spaz deal, you know, like we're all kind of singing and doing our parts, but I also like love like heavy shit and like, you know, like breakdowns and stuff like that. So I wanted to do like power violence with like, I guess like, yeah, like ass beater parts, you know.
Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Dude.
I love Beyond Pain was sick, dude.
I feel like it was like the people like weren't ready for that band, which is kind of why. Yeah, like I feel like which is kind of why it was like there was like no real longevity in it, you know, like the people saw it and like heard it and I guess thought it was cool, but like it didn't really have any like legs to it really.
Yeah.
And like playing with like Yogi was like definitely an experience because he's like really fucking good. Like like he's never like played a blast beat before in his life, but he did it with Beyond Pain. It was cool. And like he did vocals too, so like all three of us sang.
Yeah.
And but that was kind of like my biggest problem with the band is because it wasn't fun.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah, like playing and singing is like not fun to me. You know, like I'd rather like either have like a sick vocalist that's like gonna like bring it, or I'd rather just like play the riffs and like not have to think about like doing two things at once. It just became very like it became like a chore, like playing shows with the band, and I just like wasn't looking forward to doing it anymore. And then COVID happened, and then it just kind of
Yeah,
stopped.
and that was, I imagine, around the time when you were doing, was it Blood Moves Slow?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I love that shit.
Yeah,
dude.
that's like a project that like nobody like really like knows about, because like
Yeah.
I like low key posted about it,
Yeah.
and then like never posted about it again.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
remember when you had sent it to me. I was like, dude, this is fucking sick.
Thank you.
I listened to it like it would be on repeat, bro. Heavy rotation.
Yeah, that's like that's like me in musical form,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that band,
yeah.
like 100%.
You
like,
could, I feel like you could tell, dude. Like
Yeah.
it really, it's a lot of you in it. you know?
Yeah,
Is that like when you really started dialing into like what you're doing now here
Yeah.
at Dead Stare?
like that
Was the catalyst.
yes, that was like, okay, you know, COVID happened, Beyond Pain isn't a thing anymore. I need to figure out what to do, because all I ever wanted to do was like be in a band and
Yeah.
figure out a way to make it work that way. And like pre-COVID, I was in like 8 bands or something like that. I was doing Apparition.
Yeah.
With you know, I mean, I still did Apparition after all that, but like I was doing Apparition, I was doing Beyond Pain, I was doing Despise You. I did Deprive with like Miles and Tony from God's Hate. And I did Regional Justice Center, like
Oh, that's
very,
right.
very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So I was like doing like a million things, and that's when I started to realize that I didn't want to just be in like one band. I wanted to be in everyone's bands,
Yeah.
but like with that came with like I can't put 100% of everything into just like one thing, because it's like, okay, I'm in 8 bands. That means I can only give.
Were you writing with these bands?
No, I was just like
You were just
playing
playing in them.
shows and
Oh,
like,
okay.
but you know, giving like a substantial amount of my energy to them, because I was like
Yeah.
learning songs and playing shows.
Yeah.
And you know, I can't be in like 8 bands and only give like, you know, whatever percentage
Well, plus
to each of them. You know,
I can imagine like having still that urge to create yourself too. You know,
Yeah.
like and finding the time to do that as
Yeah.
well. Like in all that.
yeah. I mean, that I still had Beyond Pain, which was like my main thing at the time, but like I said, like once COVID happened, that's when I had to like realize like, oh, dude, like this can all be taken away from me
Yeah.
at like any moment. And like what I thought was like, for lack of a better way to say it, what I thought was real was never real. You know, it's gone. It's just gone now, you know? So I had to like figure out like, okay, like I still want to do music. I still like want to like be a part of like other people's projects. Like, how can I do that? And like, I had already had like Cubase, and I already had like an interface, and I already had like the means to start recording myself. So I started taking it like really seriously, and I started to record myself, and I started to like write my own songs and arrange them. And then I started to like learn how to mix.
Yeah.
And then it started to become like, oh, like I want to like expand on this. So I started getting bigger interfaces with more inputs, and I started to get like a better computer. I started to like buy stuff that like can like help me elevate my, at the time, like I guess like, I don't know, career or whatever you want to call it. Like I just started like getting really, really fucking into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started to just like offer to record my friends' bands for free. Like I would like demo Apparition stuff for free. Like,
Yeah.
and then I would, you know, Tony would send me stuff, and I would like make stuff for him. And I had like a couple other friends that hit me up for some stuff that I would just do for free.
Yeah.
And then I had met this band that wanted me to like, I had never done it before, like, but to produce their record. And I was like, yeah, dude, sure. Like, you don't got to pay me. Just pay for like the studio. I didn't have a studio or anything like that at the time. So essentially, like, I got paid $20, and like the rest of the money just went to like the studio time of like wherever we recorded it. And I would like go to this band's practice and like help them arrange their songs and like write their songs with them. It's a band that's like not, and they never like did anything, but it was still like really cool, because like this band was like my first producing experience, you know.
Yeah.
Like I got to watch them play and see like their like dynamic as a band, and how figure out how to insert myself into that without taking away from the overall like thing that they have going on, you know.
Yeah.
It's where you cut your teeth.
Yeah,
go.
pretty much. Yeah, like I just did that, and it was cool. And then I started to record like other friends' bands that they would just like pay me like small amounts of money to do it. I would mix the shit, and then it just like kind of slowly snowballed from there. Like I started to record like bands that were kind of playing shows, and then kind of like defunct bands like shortly after.
Yeah.
And then I did like really early on, I did a Generation Suicida record, which I was like very surprised to do because
Yeah.
like that band is like, they're huge, you know?
Yeah.
And they like took a chance on me. They paid me like, and the record came out really fucking cool. And yeah, dude, shit just like started to slowly just kind of pick up from there. And it was especially picked up when I had moved out of Fulvera's house, because I couldn't like, it was also like still during COVID, and I didn't feel comfortable like bringing people over, or I didn't feel like going places and like coming back and
Yeah.
you know, bumming him out because COVID, you know. But yeah, so the shit really started to pick up once I started posting more online, like that I was like available. And I mean, I don't even really do that. I just did it once, and everything else kind of spoke for itself.
Did you have like a job like during this time, like that wasn't this?
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing?
I worked at this company called Family Industries.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a screen print company. I worked there for like 2.5 years maybe, and I was like a manager at one point. And during that time, I started to I interned for this guy named Colin Britton. He is like a mega producer,
Yeah.
and he like done stuff for like Papa Roach, and like he's done stuff for like A Day to Remember, and like fucking Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy. Like he's done like, I've been in rooms with these like fucking people, you know, like it's like weird.
Yeah.
But I started to like intern for him, and I started to, you know, doing like typical like bullshit, like coffee runs and
Yeah.
taking out the trash and shit like that. And then during that time, I was still at my job, and I just quit because I was like, this is what I want to do. You know, I'm just going to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking dive in.
Yeah. He like hit me up and was like, hey, I have this session like tomorrow. And I was like, let me see what I could do. And I just put in PTO, and they approved it. And I was gone for like 2 weeks, just like assisting this like session. Yeah. It's weird.
Well, are you able to say what like the biggest in your eyes band would like have been that you were like in the room for?
Yeah, when Papa Roach, when I got to the studio and like Papa Roach was there, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I walked in, I had like an Assuk hoodie on, and Jacoby, the singer, he saw my hoodie and he was like, dude, Assuk. And I was like, no fucking way, dude.
Like he knew the band?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just commenting because of the
like,
name.
he was like, I love that. And I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And then
Damn, that's badass, dude.
yeah, it was really cool. And when Colin introduced me to them, he was like, "Oh, you guys can tighten that."
It's already like completely
Yeah,
tight.
Is it?
Yeah. That's what I've been fucking with this whole
Oh,
time.
I'm
dude.
sorry, guys.
I just think I think I'm doing it like I have it extended. Way
Yeah.
Too far. Okay,
Yeah, me
sorry.
too. So
I gotta
that's fine.
bring it closer.
When I walked in, Colin like introduced me. He was like, "Oh, this is Andrew. He's a metal producer." And I was like, "What the fuck? He just called me that? That's crazy." And then they were like, "Sick. What are you working on right now?" And I was like, like I had nothing to say, but they were like, "Ah, it's cool."
Yeah.
And then like I fucking
I'm bound by NDAs.
Yeah, I can't talk about this Power Violence record I'm working on right now. And then I was just kind of sitting in the kitchen of that studio, and like Jacoby came and was just like, dude, what else you into, man? And we started talking about like black metal and like death metal and stuff. And
Oh shit.
it was just like very like surreal. Because this guy with like a fucking weird spiky faux hawk is just
Yeah.
This is the cut my life into pieces guy.
that motherfucker, yeah.
That's so wild,
Yeah,
dude.
he probably won't ever remember me, but if he ever just so happens to hear this, what's up, dude?
He's like, he got his recent issue of Decibel, and he's like, that fuck, I know that
Hey,
fucker
I know
guy.
this little motherfucker, dude. Yeah,
That's the guy with the Sook shirt.
yeah, he was super cool. So that was like the sickest. Another funny one was when Pete Wentz was there.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 or 3 sessions that I was a part of with Pete Wentz and like one of his like artists on his label or something like that. I remember calling being like, dude, like if you want to do this, like you got to start talking, because I'm just like in the room like a fly on the wall, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what you're supposed to do. You're not really supposed to like impose on like what they're doing,
Yeah.
you know, and like or ask questions. You're just supposed to watch and just see what's going on. If they need anything, you go do something for them or whatever. And he started to be like, dude, like I want to bring you into this, like start talking to these people that are in these rooms, because like you never know, like they might recognize you like later on, and like they might need something from you, and like you'd be really fucking surprised.
Yeah.
So I was like,
networking.
yeah, like
Yeah.
just like talk to them, dude.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you're too quiet, and I'm like, I guess, dude. So I'm watching them work, and Colin's like, I'll be right back. So it's just literally just me and Pete Wentz in this room, just sitting down together. And I thought it was so funny because this is the day he walked in with like a giant puffy yellow jacket with a bolt thrower t-shirt on.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just like, I have to talk to this guy, dude.
Yeah.
There's obviously some like common interest here.
Yeah.
And then like he's also like he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I know exactly what to talk about right now. So I was like, Pete, I was just like, you still talk to like the Weekend Nachos guys or anything like that? And he was just like, what the fuck, dude? And like, he's like, no one's talked to me about Weekend Nachos in like forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way. I was
That's super
like,
awesome.
it
dude.
was so funny. And he was like, I don't know like all those guys very well, but like, he's like, I know Drew very well. And like, you know, we used to hang out a lot. And he's like, I know like Patrick's like friends with them and stuff. But he was like, damn, dude, like, what the fuck? How do you know about that? I was like, dude, I come from that world kind of.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's so cool, man. And then like when he left that day, he gave me like a fist bump that like he never gave me before. And I was like, later, dude. Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking
Yeah.
tight.
And that was it. Yeah. That
Oh
was really
man,
funny.
that's super cool, dude.
It was pretty badass, dude.
That
Yeah.
is badass, dude.
Yeah. Because that like you just see these fuckers on TV and stuff, and
Yeah.
you're like,
I want to be like you when I grow up, dude.
dude, you can.
Dude,
You can do it, dude.
I know. It's never too late.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So at what point were you like, I'm gonna pull the trigger on just doing this on my own now?
When everything I started doing at that studio started to become like a waste of time, you know, like I started to like bring my computer there because I was like, I'm not doing anything. I might as well work on stuff.
What you have to bring is more valuable than just what they have you doing there.
Yeah, like I learned a lot. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I learned
Right.
like there was a lot of things that I still like look back on those days that I apply to sessions today. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, Colin is like he's a very focused guy, and like I respect him for that because like his like hustle is like unmatched, you know. And same with his engineer Kevin. Like both of those guys like work so fucking hard that like I only like aspire to be doing that like as hard as they do. And like,
Yeah.
you know, I would say like I work relatively hard, but like those guys like crazy, like monsters, you know. It started to become like I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, all right, dude, like I'm either gonna like start engineering for this guy at some point, or like I need to like figure something else out. You know? I was already friends with Taylor, and while I was interning with Colin, I was in the band with Taylor. Something like really crazy happened to my car, and like I had to pay a bunch of money, and like I was like super broke because like I had no job. I quit my job to like do this, you know. And Taylor was like, "All right, dude, like let's get you paid. Like, I want you to work on the Suicide Silence record with me."
Mm-hmm.
So he had like sent me like a bunch of stuff to work on for that record, and like paid me like a really nice day rate for that. And like,
Yeah.
Nice.
so that was like my first like really big credit on like a big, I guess like major label.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once everything started to become like really like I guess boring there, that I just found like it wasn't for me to do that.
Yeah.
Especially like in my 30s, like I'm not gonna make coffee for a bunch of grown ass men in my 30s. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you know, it's just not really what. I
as
do.
much as there's like so much to take away from that experience. Like
Yeah.
you're at that point, you're like, damn, like I've outgrown this.
Yeah, and it happened fast too because I probably only hung around there for like a year.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
it
that
wasn't-
is
it
pretty
was-
fast,
It
dude.
wasn't that long, And I
Damn.
started to like come back around every now and then, but I get even then I was just like, yeah, dude, like I can't do this. It's just not really. It started. Okay, I don't want to say it wasn't a good use of my time, but it wasn't a good use of my time. I could have just been doing something else and just applying everything that I knew to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hit that one right there, the orange one? Yeah, he's back.
Jose's back.
He's fucking back. Just a bunch of claps, dude.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of claps. All right,
Hell
so
yeah.
where were we?
So was that around the time where you had acquired the spot from Alex to get your own space?
It took me. It happened really fast, like super fast. Like I had stopped. There was something really interesting that happened. Like there was one day where like I was hanging out with Colin, just me and him. Like I'll kind of just backtrack a little bit before I get to that. I was hanging out with Colin, like just like watching him mix, like this like song. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
And like he used to just be like, dude, like if you have any questions, like just fucking ask. Like I don't want you to just sit there. Like
Yeah.
he kind of like. It was weird because that was like the night that I kind of like think he saw something in like what I like in my potential, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Do you write music?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he was like, "Show me some of your shit." I showed him Blood Moves Slow. And he was like, "You fucking wrote this, dude?" and he's like a pop producer, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like big wig shit, millionaire type shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Like everything." And I was like, "Yeah, I played everything. I did the vocals, like I mixed it and I mastered it, like I did everything." And he was like, "This is fucking amazing, dude." And I was like, "No fucking way, dude. Like there's no way you're being serious right now."
Yeah.
I was like, "This is crazy coming from you because like you're you."
Like
Yeah.
you're fucking with me.
Yeah. And then he was like, "No, dude, like this is awesome." He's like, "How long did it take you to write one song?" I was like, 2 hours. And he was like, "There's no fucking way, dude." And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like I just like sat in my room and wrote this shit and like I wrote the lyrics, like maybe not that same day, but I wrote the entire song." And he was just like, "Dude." He's like, like I really like you, and I think you don't have like, because there's engineers and then there's producers, you know?
Right.
And the producers sometimes have their own engineers. That's kind of what I was trying to do for him, or like have him refer me to like some other producer to like engineer for them. But that was the night he told me, he was like, "Dude, like you shouldn't be someone's engineer. I think that's a waste. Like you need to be a producer and like do your own thing." He's like, "Cause he's like, I don't get those vibes from you." He's like, "I think that you're fully capable of doing something completely on your own, like without having to work under somebody." And that's when I realized like, oh dude, like I should take this like seriously, you know? And like, even his engineer, Kevin, was like, "Yeah, dude, like he means it. Like that guy doesn't say shit like that a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah.
like he thinks you're cool and like he thinks you're good and like just fucking do it." So I stopped slowly coming around there. I started doing more stuff at home. And then that was like right after that, like it was like a serendipitous, dude. I get a text from Alex Estrada like, "Hey dude, I'm moving out of my studio. Do you want it?" And I was just like, "Seriously?" And I was like, "How much is it?" He's like, "Oh, it's like this much a month, but like you can split it with people if you want." So I went over there and like kind of hung out with Alex, and he showed me the spot. Like I had been there before and I recorded there before, but like I wanted to go see it, how it was. And
Yeah.
and I was like, "Let me think about it, dude." And I talked to Chrissy, my girlfriend, and we're talking about it. And she was just like, "Well, like if you do it, like you have to do it, like really, really do it." And
Yeah.
I talked to my mom about it too. And she was like, "Just fucking do it, dude. Like I don't even care anymore. Like you don't have to have a normal job. Like you're a grown person." And like I'd already like not been at my job already for like a little bit at this point. But everything was telling me, yes, do it. You know, like you have to do it.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking stupid if you didn't do it. So I said, yeah. And like I went to go like sign the lease and I moved in like April 2022 or something like that. maybe like 2021. I forgot. But I moved in. I think it was 2022. I moved in and I didn't have like a ton of shit. I was just like, all right, this is like the bare bones shit of my studio. I started to like, buy more gear. I bought like a drum set. I bought more amps. Like I did everything I could to like fill that stuff up with everything you would need to make rock and roll. Pretty much, like I wanted bands to come and not have to bring a drum set and not have to bring their amps. Like I wanted everything there.
Yeah.
And then once I got the studio is when I started to like notice that there were bands that were hitting me up. And I think it had something to do with like, you have your own space. Like, yeah, like we want to come record with you, So I started recording bands. I recorded this band called Dogface Bastards, some like punk band.
Yeah.
I recorded this band called Karst. I recorded this band called Wrath of Gods. And like these bands all slowly started telling their friends' bands. And like all like their homies started hitting me up. And then I started recording a bunch of bands from the IE. And it just like kind of slowly, actually like pretty fast because I wasn't even there for that long,
Yeah.
I built up like a fucking clientele, I was also doing live sound at a little dive bar at that same time. And I met people there. They were coming to record with me. And, I've had these like and I'm thankful for like this very stable list of people that keep coming back. That is like really like, it's fucking incredible to me because these people trust me with their work. You know?
Yeah.
It's cool, and then I had the opportunity to like, my friend Roman was like, dude, like it's so loud here. It was fucking super loud at that studio. And that's kind of why Alex left, or he decided to like start thinking about moving as it just got too loud. And I was like, yeah, it is fucking loud. And I was writing a record with his band. And he was just kind of like, dude, like imagine like we shared a spot together. And I was like, that'd be crazy. And he was like, we should do it. And I was just kind of like, where? And he was like, at our spot, which is this building we're in right now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, that'd be kind of sick. And he's like, let's do it. And I was like, okay. Like that week, I hit up Alan, the guy that runs the spot, and I was like, hey man, I'm looking for a spot. And he was like, cool, come by tomorrow or whatever the fuck he said. I came over here and it was like that's like one serendipitous thing after the other, dude.
Yeah.
He was like, I got this like brand new building over here. It's like really tall ceilings, big enough. Like you can build a wall in here if you want. You can have a live room and a control room. He was like, but I have this. And he walked me over to this side. He was like, I have this room, which is the room right next to us. And he was like, and the band that's in the room right next to it is moving out this weekend. And I was like, okay, like if I wanted to get both rooms, could I drill a hole in the wall? And he was like, absolutely. And I was like, fuck it, dude. So I moved here. And then everything, ever since I moved here, is like everything has been super fucking like cool. This is how I make money. It's crazy. Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. And this is an awesome spot, dude.
Yeah, dude, the spot's tight.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
I worked really hard.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, yeah, it checks like all the boxes. Like, that's why I was so eager to bring my brother here, because I remember my first experience going to a studio was going to do the Second Coming with Alex, and I was like, oh, this is such a super cool experience. Because prior to that, dude, it was just like in the garage, because I used to have like a little band with Tom Arley, right? And because he does the same thing, and we would do it like he had like a little in-home scenario in the garage and stuff, but it wasn't until going to the studio.
Is that where you did the Sex Prisoner Magnum Force split with Tom?
Yeah,
right.
At his house in Anaheim. Yeah, dude. So I mean, but going to Alex's spot, that was like my first experience. So bringing my brother here to do it here, like I wanted him to experience that same feeling, like, oh damn, like this is so legit, like and I don't know, like I love coming here to this spot, dude.
Thank you.
Dude, it's like everything is so dialed in, dude. You can tell that you put so much work into it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, so man.
Thank you, dude. Recording the Hit 'Em Where It Hurt stuff was like so much fun.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm sorry if you felt like I punished you, bro.
Dude, it's cool. I hadn't seen you in like literally years before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like it was cool to hang. We were here till like 1 a.m. or whatever, you
I
know,
think so.
working. It was cool.
It meant a lot to me too because, like, I mean, obviously I want to show support, but at the same time, like, I was doing something very similar what you were doing, like with Blood Moves Slow, right? I was doing the Hit 'Em or Hurt stuff like on my own the same way, which was something that I was inspired to do by you because
Crazy.
from the stuff that I heard you send George, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I can do that, and I had dabbled in it in FL Studio before, you know,
Yeah.
so I did. I've sent him like a bunch of the old demos. I remember sending to you during that time, like, hey, this is stuff I was working on, and we had even like floated the idea of like, oh, dude, this would be cool.
Split.
We did like a cool split, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
I
it was
remember.
like a quarantine like era, you know. So coming here to do it was like, like I knew that it was like you were gonna do. You knew exactly what to do. Like
Yeah.
you know how to make it go from inside the head to how it's supposed to sound from the speakers, you know, at
Yeah.
the finished product, you know.
That means a
And
lot.
I
It's
trust, and
crazy.
I trusted you. You're the only person I feel like I would trust with that.
Oh,
You know
thanks,
what I mean?
man. Yeah.
Because you just know, what to do. Like
Yeah.
this is you know it better than anybody, in my opinion. I mean,
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I really feel like I found what I was like always like kind of meant to do, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
ever since I was a kid, like, you know, playing music was always part of my life. And like, even very early on, I wanted to record bands, you know, like I had like a shitty, you know, like I said earlier, I had this like shitty little tape machine that I recorded all my shit. And when I learned how how it works, I was like, dude, it'd be so sick to do this for like somebody's band or something
Yeah.
like that, you know. And I finally, you know, in however many years it took me to do, like I finally figured out how to do it. And like, it's just kind of crazy that like from being this little to who I am now, like it's fucking evolving, you know, and shit's happening. It's like surreal to me. And I'm like grateful that there are like people that I'm able to build relationships with, where they start to just trust me with their art. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a game changer, dude. Because like, I mean, at least from like my perspective, like, you know, going in, having all this, like, you know, you hear it in your head, right? And then having someone that's just, you know, this is what it should sound like, you know, and offering suggestions in studio to kind of help like just change it up a bit to just where it all makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that, at least what we made with for Fell Deeds Awake, like it was, it couldn't have come out the same way having not done it here with you. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like and then plus like, dude, and sending it off to get like mastered by Nick, dude. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that it sounded so great. You know, like you guys know exactly what you're doing. It's so
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
That's probably like one of my favorite things I've worked on this year, because like there isn't a lot of like power violence bands that want to have like a cool recording, you know, like people would rather just do it themselves. And there's definitely like a vibe to that, but like I don't want to say like I know what the vibe is, but like I want to give, like I want to I want to give someone this like really powerful and like huge recording, but
Yeah.
still give it that like aggressive
Raw.
vibe, you know,
Yeah.
without like taking away from that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And like Hit 'Em Where It Hurts was the first band that like allowed me to do that. So that's like really fucking cool.
Yeah, dude.
Super cool. Yeah.
No, dude, you're a game changer. Dude. You're our game changer, dude.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah.
So, so was it doing all of this and getting like this spot and making more of those types of connection, being more people coming here to cut stuff? Is that what led to you now being a part of Nails?
Kind of like in a way, not here necessarily, but we will kind of like, we'll have to go back like a few years, like maybe like 3-4 years ago, like at like the height of COVID.
Oh, word.
Nick Townsend had like called me and was like, dude, like one of my buddies has this podcast, like he wants a new intro. Let's come up like with a new like song for his intro. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like I can just kind of have another thing. And this is like early on, you know, like I can kind of have this other thing under my belt that like I can throw on my resume or show people that I've done, you know?
Jingles?
Yeah, exactly. Literally,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Hardcore jingles.
yeah, hey, dude, I'll have to show you guys. It's really, really funny. But I was like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah, let's do it tomorrow or whatever the fuck I said. And Nick had a studio at the time where you're able to like record and do a bunch of stuff in there. So that morning came, I give Chrissy a kiss. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go do this. And she's like, all right, good luck. And I'm on my way there, and by like the grace of God, he was just like, hey, Todd's coming. And I was like, why? I was like, why? He's like, oh, he just wants to hang out and just fucking just chill. I was like, all right, cool. Fuck it. I hadn't seen Todd in fucking forever, you know? And then like, especially like, like I was kind of curious to like, I mean, I never got to ask him at the time, but like I was kind of curious to see like where his head was at with like nails and stuff, because like, there was like nothing publicly said about the band other than like, the band's not broken up. He's still going to do it. Taylor and John quit. Everything's still cool. That's it,
Yeah.
So me and Nick start working on this podcast intro. We finish it, and then Nick's like, hey, Todd's here. I'm going to go get him. I'm like, all right, cool. So Todd walks in, and he's got like a guitar, and he's got like a little amp. And I was like, oh shit, are we about to jam right now, dude? This is sick. Todd sees me and was like, what's up, dude? And he gave me like a big old handshake. That guy, dude, he's like known for giving like the hardest fucking like shabap, like fucking handshakes, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, God damn, this shit hurt. And then he's like, what are we doing? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I have this song. And I was like, all right, let's record it. And Nick got on the drum set, and like me and Todd are in the control room. Nick's in the other room, and Nick can hear us. So like we're all like talking through like this window, and Todd plays this song, and it's like a cool like D beat sort of song, like nothing like nails or anything like that, but very like hardcore,
Yeah.
And Todd's like, what do you think? And I'm like, dude, it's badass. Try this. The producer and me just started, the wheels started turning, and he was like, he's like, I like that. Started playing stuff, and then he'd be like, what do you think about this? I'm like, that's sick. And he'd be like, what else you think about this? I'm like, try this. And he'd be like, I don't like that. And I'd be like, that's cool. I don't. It's your song, dude. You know? And then it became like this. We started like working off of each other in this way where I was like, dude, I'm working with Todd Jones right now. This is sick as fuck,
I know. Yeah, cool.
And then I played something, and Todd goes like, wait a minute, dude. What did you just play right now? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I recorded it though. And we recorded
Jesus took the wheel.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. But like, I fucking recorded it. Let's play it back. And we played it back. He's like, that's going to be the bridge of the song. And I was like, sick, let's do it. So like we did this whole like little song. And then like we wrote like another song. And then that was it. Like we just like did these two songs together that like won't ever come out. It was just like a little fun thing I did with those two guys. And then afterwards, like we just started hanging out and talking and catching up, and Todd's asking me what I'm up to, and that was it. I didn't hear from Todd since. I sent him mixes of the songs. He's like, cool, I love it. And that was it. Like I didn't talk to him for like a couple of years maybe. And then there's like things floating around where like, oh dude, Nails is back together. Like there's a record that's done. This is just, I'm just hearing this from people that are just like, yeah, dude, like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking sick. Fuck yeah. And then I started getting like word from Nick. He's like, dude, Todd keeps asking about you, man. Like, I don't know. Like he keeps asking like, what's Andrew up to these days? I'm thinking about hitting him up. And I was like, God, yeah, right, dude. Like, like my first initial thought was the same I had with Despise You. I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then there was just like one day. It was the same month that I moved into this studio that it all started to like happen. There was like one day Nick was just like, dude, I think you need to hit up Todd. He's like, I don't want to say that like you can be in the band, but he's like, I think you have a really fucking good shot of like making it happen. And I was just kind of like, all right, man, whatever, So I had like a session here, like one of the first sessions I had here with the band. And while towards the end of that session, I could not stop thinking about it, dude. I was like, I have to hit this guy up. Like, something's telling me I need to just text Todd Jones and just say what's up. So I texted him. I was like, hey, Todd, like, hope you're good, bro. You know, I was just checking in, see how you're doing. We started talking a little bit, and he was like, oh, I'm good, dude. Like, you know, just wrapping up a bunch of things. He wasn't really, like, telling me what he was doing, but he was like, I'm just wrapping up a bunch of things, and, you know, it's been a busy year, and, you know, I'm glad things are starting to, like, wrap up. And I'm like, cool, man. He's like, what are you up to? I'm like, here at the studio. I showed him pictures of the studio that I just moved into. And he's like, fuck yeah, dude. He's like, dead stare, is that no comment? And I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, fuck yeah.
Dead stare for life.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, fuck yeah. And then he was like, hey, man, like, are you busy right now? Like, can I give you a call? And I was like, sure, dude. And I fucking knew. I was like, this motherfucker's about to ask me to be in Nails, dude. So the band I was with, I was like, hey, I gotta take this phone call real quick. So he calls me. He's like, what's up, dude? Like, what's going on? And just tell him that I'm in a session. And I was like, but I have time to talk. We just started talking about, like, you know, being, you know, where we're at in this point of our lives right now. Just kind of like asking like general questions. He was like, so yeah, dude, like, you know, I have this like entire record written and recorded. You know, I have Carlos Cruz and I have Shelby Lermo from Ulthar, like, in Nails now. And he's like, and the only thing I need is a bass player. So I'm calling to ask if you were interested in jamming with Nails. And I was just kind of like, duh, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, and he was like, all right, cool. Like let's figure out a day to meet up and just like jam, play. I'll teach you some of the songs and we'll kind of go from there. And he came like that Friday. And like, I think we jammed for like 5 minutes. And then he asked me to be in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was literally it. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? And all of a sudden, like, I just had like my calendar full. It was like, all right, here's all the shit we're doing this year or next year at that time. And yeah, like, it was just like so weird. And like, I went home and I told Chrissy, I was like, dude, I'm in fucking Nails now. And she was just like, what is your life, dude? Like,
I know, for real.
Like you get to do all these like things and like they just happen. Like, how does it just happen? I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I have no idea. Now, like, I'm like in Nails and I'm on the record, you know, like my face is on the record, my name's on the record.
In the magazine, dude.
In the fucking magazine.
That's fucking wild.
That is insane, dude.
Crazy. Like, and you know, we're doing like festivals. We're like, you know, we got like things that I can't say on the record right now.
I'm bound by an NDA.
Well, just so you know, this episode comes out September 1st.
Okay.
And I know the album comes out the 30th, I believe.
30th.
Yeah,
Yes.
so this will be out the Sunday after the album comes out.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So yeah, the record's coming out August 30th.
Yeah.
We have that tour with Mammoth Grinder and 200 Stab Wounds and Tribal Gaze coming up.
Yeah.
Then we got like a show with Cradle of Filth.
Oh,
which is,
shit.
like, crazy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Insane.
Yeah.
And then like we have like a festival we're doing in January, and that's going to be announced like I guess like by the time you said this comes out September 1st.
September 1st.
So I think by the time this comes out, the festival were to be announced, we're going to be doing FYA Festival.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be headlining day 2. Dude, we're playing over Terror, dude.
Over Terror?
Yeah, we're headlining, dude. That's something I never thought I would do.
Wow.
Playing
Yeah.
over Terror. That's
Wow.
wild.
Insane, dude.
Wow.
And there's like also bands that are playing that are like these bands, like Kids Like Us is playing.
No
What?
shit,
Yeah,
dude.
the Mongoloids are playing.
Are you
What the
serious?
heck?
Foundation is headlining this
What the
Saturday.
fuck?
Yeah, insane, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So like I'm just like so grateful to be a part of it, you know.
Wow.
Where does this take place again?
Florida.
It's Florida. That's right.
Yeah.
Florida. Damn.
So we got that. We got like a crazy, I can't say it yet, but we have like a crazy tour, a full US tour, like a full 30 days next year.
Wow.
With like bands that I never thought I would play with in my entire life. And like there's like so many other things that are happening that are like already like 2025 is going to be like a really good year for Nails. So yeah, Todd Jones changed my life, dude.
Todd
That's
Jones,
awesome, dude.
dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on me, dude.
Todd Jones
Or
changed
like
my life.
a little bumper sticker or something, like Todd Jones changed. Yeah, dude, straight up. And it's just gonna be this picture right here.
Hell yeah,
Dude.
dude.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I'm excited for you. That's awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited
dude.
too, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
My mom is very proud. I think my sister will be pretty proud too, you know, and Chris is
Hell
pretty
yeah,
proud.
dude.
You
Yeah,
know?
dude.
So it's a pretty full circle thing. Because like I said earlier, Deadbeat played with Despise You and Nails before I was in either bands. And now I'm
Yeah.
in both.
That's fucking
It's
crazy.
insane, dude. It's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
dude.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
Well, for what it's worth, man, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
That's cool.
It means
dude.
a lot.
That's cool,
It really
dude.
does. Yeah.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Without saying Nails, what is one of your favorite Todd Jones bands?
I don't want to say Carry On,
Okay.
but I'm going to say Carry On.
I feel like that's kind of like a given.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Betrayed as well.
Betrayed, yeah.
Yeah, Betrayed's
was
really
cool,
good.
dude.
I mean, I love Todd Jones era Nails. I mean, not Nails, Terror.
Terry, yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's like because there was like D beats and shit like that and
Yeah.
that stuff. Like, and like even at the time when I was like into like punk and stuff, like I thought it was cool that a hardcore band was doing D beats. You know, he's been a part of like a lot of projects that I've been a fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for like a really long time. you
Knife
know?
Fight, Blacklisted.
Knife Fight, Blacklisted too. Like Knife Fight is like one
Dude.
that I really like too,
Yeah.
and like Nick was in Knife Fight too.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is, like,
that's right.
which is how
Yeah.
I found out about Nick was through Knife Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like really like I'm the lucky one to be in a band with like not only just him but like Carlos and Shelby too, because like those guys are pros.
Yeah.
Like this kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like I can never find a band where people like just do their homework, and Nails is that band.
Yeah.
Like I've never gone to a practice where we've never played a song together once. But when we got there to play for the first time together, it was like 95% there. You know, like it's never happened to me.
Yeah.
And like with Nails, like that's happened.
So like winning combination.
Yeah, it was it was another one of those things, like I said, with Despise You. Like, dude, there's like the parallels of being in Despise You and getting asked to be in Despise You and being in Nails and getting asked to be in Nails. It's exactly the same. Like, I was like, it makes sense that I'm in this
Yeah.
fucking band, you know?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and like I when I tell people like, or when people tell me like, yeah, of course you're in fucking Nails, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense, and I'm like, yeah, I guess so, dude. You know, like that's cool. That's
You're
cool.
very humble.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to hear, you know, because like I don't know, like I'm just like grateful, dude. You know, like I don't want to like, you know, even like being on the cover of a fucking magazine is like really weird to me, and I don't like want people to see like who I am or anything like that. But
Do you have multiple copies of it?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what's up.
not for you though.
No. I'm just. Hey, man, we'll see about that.
But
I
yeah,
see what you did there.
No, because like I know you had like a bunch of copies of like the LA Weekly
Yeah.
that you were on the cover of.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just
Yikes.
curious.
I had that shit on my wall, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I had Jose, Aldo, Sergio, and Jeff on my wall.
Yeah. I still have
Damn.
a bunch of those
That's
copies,
cute.
dude.
Damn, dude.
I still have a bunch of them.
That was cool. That was
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, like I don't know. It's like I mean, I felt the same way for that. You know, it was
Yeah.
LA Weekly. Like I mean, not no shade on it at all. You know, but like
Yeah.
I mean, Decibels like that's
huge,
That's a
dude.
huge publication, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy, man. Like I remember being when I was living at Phil Vera's, like of him just having like decibel issues on top of the shitter. You know, he just like have the next month,
Yeah.
and now like he's probably gonna get this one and be like, "Oh fuck, that's so weird. This guy used to live here."
Yeah. Now he gets to look at your face while you take a shit, dude.
He already did that when I lived there, dude.
Do you have a favorite Nail song that you like to play?
Made to Make You Fail.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
Off You'll Never Be One of Us. But like the new songs are like really fucking. I guess I could say this now too. I showed you guys the fucking album right
Yeah.
before this podcast. The
Yeah.
album's gonna come out by the time this is out.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. That Motorhead song. Oh, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
I cannot wait to see that shit live.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, and, like Nails has just been so consistently one of my favorite bands. Like it's
Sick.
some of the best stuff I've heard. I mean, like it is like, dude, Unsettling Death is what really did a lot of influential. It gave me a lot of influence, like for how like I wanted to like mature the Hit 'Em Where It Hurts sound. You know, like I draw a lot of influence.
I mean, that was like a big like reference when we were recording was like Unsilent
dude.
Death. That was
Yo,
like
dude, like
the main one.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like to me, like Nails is a band that I really admire. You know, I love listening to that band, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and they've been consistently just getting better and better. And like what I heard like what you showed me earlier was just like, man, like it's I'm excited to like just to like obsess over it.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
while driving around at work, like blasting it over and over and over again, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
It's a pretty surreal thing to be a part of because like I listen to like the new songs and I'm like, this is such an elevated version
For
of
real.
the
Yeah.
band.
100%.
Like even like the production value on
Dude.
it, like it's just like so different than like anything Nails has like ever done.
And Nick mastered
Nick
it.
mastered it as well. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
like
The Dream Team, dude.
I
Yeah.
know that's
It
really-
dude,
it really
what
is.
what a winning combination,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. It's like and that's another thing. I was like, yeah, of course Nick is gonna master the new Nails record.
Yeah.
Because like he's my friend, he's Todd's friend. Like it just makes fucking sense. Like of course like this is gonna fucking happen. And of course like Nick has to be the guy, you know? It's just like everything just fell into place so beautifully, you know, that it just still has like it's not gonna hit me that I'm doing this until I get on that fucking plane of the first show. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's just not. It's not gonna hit me. It still hasn't hit me. All I've been doing is what I've been doing every day. You know, all I do is like practice once a week with the band. Yeah,
Damn.
it's weird, man. once I get on that plane, it's over. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. And it's such a baller move that the first show back is not in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck you.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that LA show though.
Yeah,
it's gonna
dude.
be insane.
Yeah.
There's like a really special thing happening. Hopefully, I can tell you guys. Maybe, probably not gonna tell you guys, but I'm gonna keep my fingers fucking crossed that it happens.
Yeah.
And if it does happen and you're there, it's gonna be fucking sick.
Oh
Dude,
man,
I can't wait, dude.
It's gonna be like epic, dude.
Hey, I might even request a day off just to fucking get there early.
You
I'm
have
gonna
enough time? You have
I'm gonna
enough time?
request. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I have PTO.
I have a lot.
See, you have enough time, dude. Let's
Yeah,
go.
dude.
But yeah, dude, like it's gonna be epic, dude. Like Todd and I were talking about it, and it's like, dude, I might shed a tear.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like really fucking cool.
Dude,
Really cool. Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
I'm finding the urge to just start like running in circles.
But yeah, dude.
That's very exciting, dude. That's really cool. I mean, like you're like seriously one of my favorite bands, dude. That's
Yeah.
super awesome, dude.
I'm in one of my favorite bands.
I know, dude.
I'm in
that's
two
fucking
of my
tight.
favorite
I
bands,
know, dude. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I'm telling you, I want to be you when I grow up.
I just don't get it, you know? Like I don't know how these things happened. It's just like right place, right time shit, dude.
No, man. I feel like you need to give yourself more credit. Like you're a very creative dude. You know, you make genuine connections. Like I've always fucked with you because I felt like I saw like the same thing that everybody else has been seeing in you. I saw nothing different. You know, like you have like this vibe about you that's just like, man, you're in. You speak the same language on the same level, same frequency as a bunch of these like creative individuals, dude. You know, and I'm like that's something I've always like thought that I admired a lot about you, and I feel that's what really connected us. You know,
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, dude, it just makes sense. Like you're just an overall good person. You've always been like a nice dude. You know, you have a
thanks,
good
man.
energy, bro. Like it's you know. You did it because you put in the work, you know, you took you took those risks, right?
Yeah.
You and along the way you had support from people who care about you, you know, because of the genuine connections that you made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of your hard work, dude. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you really have earned it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you give yourself a lot more credit.
Yeah. I mean, I should be like nicer to myself about
Yeah,
it.
you should, dude.
You know, but like at the same time, you know, not to like fully negate anything you just said because I really appreciate it, but it's still, I still feel like I'm the lucky one, you know, like
That's a good quality to have.
Yeah,
though.
like I just feel like, you know, despite everything that you just said, like I don't deserve it. Like it's just like that's just how I feel. I'm just like, okay. And then at the same time, it feels like I'm still doing the same thing. It's just like it's I don't want to say it's just another band, but it is, like it's just like it just happened to be a band that I'm a fan of, and thousands of other people are like fans of too, like that's it. And it's just like, it's just really cool to be a part of. And like I can't wait to like get out there and fucking rip it up with fucking TJ and Carlos and Shelby, dude. It's gonna be really
that's
cool.
super cool, man. Yeah. I felt very similar when I started working with like Sergio and them joining AC.
Yeah, because it was kind of the same thing. It was kind of the same thing
with me in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I had checked out and became an NPC for a while myself, to work on me. But like, it was like I can feel and understand like the excitement that that you must have, and it's just like, man, this is so like that's crazy. Like, because I mean, that's the band that took me on tour. You know, so it's like having to experience a lot of those things that you like wanted when you got into like making music and playing guitar, and wanting to like headbang, like that's super dope, dude. You know?
I mean, dude, like now I'm gonna give you your flowers. Like you also like inspired me a lot too growing up, because like I started Barking Backwards, and like ACXDC, was like a band that like I really like looked up to, and that like, and it was really cool that like how do I explain this? Like I just come from a world before that like people that were in popular bands, like you didn't become friends with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when
they were here, and then you were like here
in
a way.
And then when I started Barking Backwards, and then I started playing shows, and I started to I met you guys, and I met like other bands. Like I met Chris Moore when I was in Barking Backwards, and like these are all like bands that I was like a fucking fan of, and all of a sudden I'm like up here, you know, without even like trying really. All I had to do was like start a fucking band, and everyone always saw me as an equal, and it was never like, oh, you're just in this like small band,
right?
Like, like you guys like never treated me or the other guys in the bands that way. So it was like really cool, and like it was really cool to see, because it's like you guys were all just normal people that did cool shit. Whereas like there might be, and like, maybe like deathcore, or like even like, whatever came with that, like there was just like the hierarchy, you know what I mean? And there still kind of is in a way.
Yeah.
And I feel like hardcore and power violence is like superior because of it, because I think power violence and like hardcore and punk have always been the thing that people admired to be, and we're just doing it without even trying.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like it was. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now.
No,
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like as if it's a language that you had already spoken.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah, and you were a part of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like it's like really cool that like we can kind of sit in the same room and like talk about these things together, and not be like, I don't know, like, oh, you're in this band or you were in that band. Like it's just like we're just friends.
There's no egos.
Yeah, exactly.
There's never been an ego either.
And don't get me wrong though, because like I mean, I have an appreciation for the fact that like we have a lot of like I've met a lot of these like same people. Like we can talk about a lot of these people. Like I mean, I look at them, people around me, and I still are just like, oh man, Todd Jones. So I still I very much admire Sergio, like everything that he does, the contribution he makes to the scene and stuff. And it's like, but I mean, they're still like friends of mine, and being able to kind of have to sit in the same room and talk about like this mutual network in a way, like I appreciate that. That's really cool, like I'm telling you, man. Like I feel like it's just like a frequency that that at least like I can recognize us being on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I feel like that about a lot of friends that I've made, being in bands that like are adjacent to what we do now. Like everyone's always kind of been on like the same wavelength. With like the you know, there might be like some like there was always some like fuckers, you know, but like just like with anything, there's fuckers, you know.
Yeah.
But like everyone, for the most part, growing up, like was just like all on the same page, and was just like we were just doing it to have fun, and
Right.
by for whatever reasons, some of us were able to like get out of like that like backyard mentality
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like evolve as
Yeah.
people, not
Yeah.
only as people but as like musicians and creatives too, you know.
Yeah, like it's like, you know, some people are more, like have more of a passion for it rather than it just being simply like a hobby, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because I know like in a lot of cases of people that like I grew up with when I started playing like music, you know, like they were like teenagers in bands, but like parents, you know, like
Mhm.
they can, you know, they can really be like, no, you don't do that. That's like silly, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not gonna pay the bills, you know what I mean? And like, so people kind of focus on something different, you know.
Mhm.
When on the other hand, like you when you're so passionate about it, you're just like, no, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like this, I want to devote. Like, I don't want to go clock in, clock out somewhere and have someone tell me what to do because my performance reflects their metric.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like to just be to do what you love like all the time and like have it be like, you know, having punk rock pay the bills, you know,
It's
that
crazy.
it's so
Yeah,
that's so
dude.
sick, dude.
And honestly, dude, like I don't care what anybody says. If there's like anyone out there that's like, that's not punk, like I don't give a fuck, dude. Then I'm then I'm not punk, because like all I've ever wanted to do growing up was like have something to do with music,
Yeah.
and the fact that I've been doing it for so long,
Yeah.
and then the last like, you know, 3-4 years like of my life, I've been able to like be my own boss because of it. Like.
Mhm.
That's better than like me sitting at a fucking desk or like working at a fucking Walmart, which I did both like growing up, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Homie.
Like I can't even like imagine doing that anymore, dude. Like I had like the thought earlier today for some reason, like I made up this fucking stupid scenario in my head where I was like, when I was younger and I worked at a job and people were like passive aggressive with me, I would just be like, whatever. But like now I feel like if I worked at a job and people were being passive aggressive, I'm like, I'm gonna blow the fuck up because I don't need this shit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need this job. I got this thing going
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
you know? So like, I don't know. It's just weird, man. Like, you know, on the worst day, I'm just recording a band that sucks. You know?
Yeah.
And even then I'm like, I'm still doing what I like to
Exactly.
do. You know? I'll probably end up liking this anyway, even though it's probably not
Yeah.
so good right now. Like I'll make it sound good, you know?
Yeah, because of how meticulous and how detailed oriented you are in the mix of things.
Yeah.
Like you there's something that you're enjoying out of it nonetheless.
Yeah. I want to elevate bands.
Exactly.
You know? So like I can have something that completely like sucks come in and I'll still find something to like about it because, you know, whatever input I have to give, the bands are going to be stoked, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, man, I'm just lucky, dude. I'm just lucky. Like I get to do this every day and yeah, it's just crazy.
You're the professional now.
Yeah, dude.
Like you keep commenting on like, oh, I want to work with professionals, but you're the professional. now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I guess, man. Fuck. It's weird to think of that way. But I guess so, you know.
No, dude, like I am so stoked that like that like Hit 'Em Where It Hurts was able to come in here and work with you
Me too.
on that, dude. Like that to me is just like, man, like that band had accomplished something so huge
Yeah.
in that, you know,
Yeah.
in my opinion, you know,
Yeah.
like dude, because dude, you do some good work, dude.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, like
Thanks.
that recent thing with the like Smoke 909, bro. Like, oh my god, bro,
Dude, shout out to that band because
I know.
those guys are so good.
bro.
I will
hope,
admit,
I hope they listen to this. And dude, like that's a cool band I'd like to link up with, dude.
I'll admit,
That band's sick.
I'll admit, I did not like that band beforehand. At least, like, I didn't like what they were doing. I could appreciate it, but like, it wasn't really my thing. When they came to the studio, they came with 3 songs that were unfinished, and we finished them in the studio. And those are like 3 of like the coolest things. The 3 of the coolest songs that I've gotten to work on this year.
It's funny because I had recently stumbled on them because I was trying to put together a playlist of like hardcore bands from the IE
Mhm.
just for so I can just kind of broaden what I know and what I'm aware of and to listen to it. So I stumbled on them and I was like, oh, this is cool, this is cool to me. And then I heard that promo that they dropped and then seeing that you were tied to it like that and hearing it, I was like, bro, they leveled up on this one, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's so sick, dude.
It's such a clear
Oh
level
my god!
up from the old
It,
stuff. Yeah.
it's so heavy, and
Yeah.
it is so like just like it like man, like it's menacing. Like I love turning it up and just letting it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Letting it fucking pump.
makes me
Yeah.
want to act up, dude.
Makes you want to fucking just fucking let loose.
Yeah, shout out to those guys.
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Like I hope that they hear Hit 'Em Where It Hurts and think like, let's do some.
That'd be
IE
sick,
Let's do
man.
some IE shit together.
I think
bro.
that would be like, that would only make so much sense.
I know.
You know, like,
dude.
those guys are like, that's a band that I kind of see as like what we're doing. We're like, they're just so passionate about what they do
Yep.
and like take it very seriously, and they're all really good at their instruments. And the singer, like, he's telling a story, you know,
Yep.
David's telling a story, and it's like all they needed was just like that, like, I guess, like, I don't want to say that pop sensibility, but they needed to have like the arrangement.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they came to the studio, we really like accomplished that. And I think that these songs are going to be like their biggest songs, because like I think that they're an incredible band.
Oh, dude.
Really fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a great like release, dude.
Yeah, man.
They did a good job on that.
I'm pretty proud of it. Pretty
Yeah.
fucking proud
Yeah,
of it.
dude.
That's like one thing I done this year where I was like, I'll put that in the fucking, I'll put that in the portfolio, dude.
Hell yeah.
People ask me what I did. Oh, here you
What's
go.
another one like that you're like, oh man, I really liked that.
Yeah,
one.
what are you stoked on?
Well, there's like Auditory Anguish is another band that's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good.
I think that's one of the ones that you sent me, like when you're showing, like,
Yeah.
which route do you want to go?
Yeah, they're like really aggressive,
Dude.
Like, and their whole thing is like, they're another band that kind of wants to have like that Unsilent Death vibe,
Mm-hmm.
but with like, you know, they have like, you know, they're like on the cusp of like grind and like deathcore. So like they kind of like fall like somewhere in the middle of that. But they're like a really fucking good band.
Hell yeah.
Severus is another really fucking good band that I worked on and produced records for. Desmadre, everything that we've worked on has like
Dude.
consistently
Yeah.
gotten better and better. You know, Severus and Desmadre are like two bands that I've worked with from the beginning, you know, at no charge, you know, at one point, that like the records that I worked on for them for free got them signed to record labels, you know.
Oh,
It's cool.
dude.
That's a really
Dude.
cool accomplishment for me, because I'm like, okay, that means that like it's not about me, you know what I mean? But like I want to make sure that this piece of music that this band wants to put out is as good as it can be. And them getting signed kind of tells me like, okay, something's happening here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
like
yeah.
I guess like I don't want to like blow smoke up my own ass, but like I guess like I don't know, it works, you know? Like if sometimes people just need to have that, like, you need to just give them the map, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
like tell them how to read it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It just takes that, it's like that close. you know?
Just kind of help, kind of like being that outside perspective that helps. Like I said, the finished product is like, you know, it's hurt in the head in a way, you know, and then like you help move the needle from one point to the other, and
Yeah.
then like you hear it back and you're like, oh, dude, like,
Yeah.
and to have that gratification at the end of something like that, being like help get them signed, like, man, like that does speak a lot to like your contribution to what a band is able to put out. you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, that's all I want to do. All I want to do
Yeah.
is like, I want bands to come in and like, if they want to just get their shit sounding sick, then I'll do that. But if they want my input, I'm going to give them my input, and
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure it's as cool as it fucking can be, you know, because they might just get signed because of it. You know, I don't know. Like, even if it did nothing, I would still be really proud of it, you know,
Yeah.
of all the things I worked on, you know.
Do you have anything coming up that you're excited for, as far as like, you know, like on your calendar for bands and records that you might be working on?
Desmadre LP.
Oh,
Finally.
hell yeah, dude.
I
Dude,
won't-
I've been waiting.
I won't say how it's coming out or when it's coming out, but it's coming out. And
I've been waiting, dude.
It's going to happen.
Oh,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we've been writing a record for like the last like 2 months, I think. Like I've just been writing songs and sending them to Chucky and like Luis, You know,
Yeah.
shout out to Chucky and Luis. Like those guys work really fucking hard, and Luis is making a lot happen for Desmadre. But there's a Desmadre record coming out really, really soon.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
That's another one I'm gonna bump, dude.
Yeah, there's people that are collabing on the record.
Okay.
That it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be really sick.
That was a nice tease.
Yeah,
That was a nice team.
yeah,
Dude.
yeah. It's gonna be really cool. There's a lot of other things happening. Like I have like Deviated State coming. I'm working on a record for this trash band right now called Chain Wolf. I work with this pop band called Magenta Moon. That's like one of my favorite things that I've ever worked on.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you say a pop band, do you have like an example of like how to maybe to draw some sort of comparison?
Let's just say like the last song that we worked on was like a mix between like like Billie Eilish and like The Strokes or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
okay.
really cool. I'll show you guys.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really cool.
Do you have anything else that you've worked on that's similar like that? Like we're like outside of like that.
Like aggressive music?
Yeah.
Yeah, I try and like, you know, I would not to say I would prefer not to work on aggressive music, but I like love when non-aggressive bands come to the studio because I feel like that's where, because when you work on aggressive music, there's so much like restraint that needs to be had that like you can't really experiment too much outside of the realm of extreme music. You know what I mean? Unless like someone's like completely open to trying stuff.
Yeah.
But when you work on stuff that isn't aggressive and is more like in the pop realm, I feel like you can, like if I wanted to add like a heavy guitar to a pop song, you can, because as long as it's good and like the vibe of the song is there, it's sick.
Yeah.
Whereas like with metal, you can't just like be adding like singing parts or like a disco beat
I
or
see what you
something
mean.
like
I
that.
see
You know
what
what I
you mean.
mean?
Like so, like having those people, having like artists like that come in, right? And not having that in their purview, right? You can help add something like that to add to what they're already doing that could blow their minds potentially. Being like, oh, dude, that sounds so sick like that.
So I can give you a little bit more perspective. This will probably give you more of a perspective in the pop world, the music industry. You'd be surprised how many engineers that work on pop music are actually metalheads.
Really?
Like, I think that people that are metalheads that work in the pop industry actually have a lot more to offer, because I think because we're so used to like just doing the most extreme, you know what I mean? Like loud guitars on the left, loud guitars on the right, distorted bass in the middle, crazy drums. When you work on a pop song, you don't got any of that. You know what I mean? You have like very, very simplified versions of all the things that you worked on. So when you work on it, you're like, dude, this is cake. You know,
Right.
I can do this in my sleep, you know? So when I got to work with Magenta Moon, it was just that. Like when they first came to a session, I did not know what to expect, but we've done 3 singles so far. So, I mean,
Nice.
kind of says something, you know?
Have you done any like have you worked on any hip hop?
I was supposed to a few times, but I never did. I have worked on like R&B sort of stuff. I guess
hell
I
yeah.
wouldn't really call it R&B. It's more like synthy sort of like stuff. I mean, I think it'd be cool. You know?
Can you see yourself like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever messed around with it, like, you know, like produced as like the person who makes like the like beats?
I have.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing that I'm like proud of, but yeah, I have. Yeah. And like, I understand like it's just like a totally different thing for me, you know, like I'm much more of like, I feel like with like music, like hip hop or R&B or even like EDM or something like that, there's almost like one theme that you work on for those things. And every 2 bars or 4 bars is just an evolution of that one thing. Like whether it's like an evolution of like it's either like a more like broken down version of what it is, or like there's like layers on top of it for the next part, or like you like break it down to like its core elements, you know. It's just like one thing that I for some reason just can't wrap my head around, you know. Like in my head I'm just like, where's the blast beats? I need to arrange a hardcore song right now.
Yeah.
Like, but I have before, and it's like really fun. And I guess that's kind of how I started, really, with like Fruity Loops and just doing like shitty loops. And
you can do a lot with FL Studio.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I have no like interest in like, you know, venturing out of that. You know,
Yeah.
I can do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can like record a full drum set if you wanted to, and if you have like the interface. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you, like as long as you have like the other equipment that you need, like you can really just because I mean, it's just a digital workspace like any other.
Yeah. I think like Fruity Loops and like Ableton are like really like underrated. Sort of like DAWs because like their algorithms are so like good for stuff like that. That if you did like any sort of like editing in like Ableton, the algorithm and that works better than it would in like Pro Tools or something like that. You know, like it just sounds better.
Yeah.
But like, you know, everything.
I personally never used Pro Tools, so I don't have that frame of reference.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a doctor's office when I'm using it, dude. I just
Really?
I don't like it. It's not my thing. But I just used it the other day to like edit drums, and I'm like, just get me out of here, coach. Just put me back.
Get me out of here, coach.
Put me back in Cubase, dude, and I'll make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
How was it? I want to ask you, how was it recording with Sueños? Because you had introduced me to that band.
The first time.
Was that like your first time working with that type of band?
You know what? This is like, I totally forgot that I recorded that band. That they were pretty early on, like because that band that I first produced, like the first thing I ever worked on, the drummer of Sueños was the drummer of that band. So like I had like met him, and he was just like, "Hey, dude, I have this shoegaze band," and I was like, "Sure." I don't know anything about shoegaze or can't even tell you that like I like it, but like I'm down. It was really fun. We did it like I think I finished recording and mixing it in like a weekend, and then sent it off to them, and then you know they have like their own like little thing going. We did like a second record together, and that was really cool. But you know they've since moved on, and like they do like their own little thing now, which is cool. Like I'm stoked for them.
Because I remember you hitting me up and you're like, dude, I'm like working with this band right now. I think you would really like them.
Yeah.
And then that was at the time when I was like kind of like releasing records myself.
Yeah.
And so I was able to release that 7-inch for them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
yeah. I think I have a copy at my house somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like somewhere I have like records that like I don't listen to that are just like in my closet. So it's somewhere in there. Yeah.
Damn, thanks, man.
Yeah. Not just
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny. It's like my brother, one of my brother-in-laws is a professional chef, and like, dude's an artist, right? But then like, doesn't fuck around with that himself at all. Like, does not cook that same way for himself. It's funny. It's like, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, man. I'm not like a vinyl guy.
Yeah,
but I like having the records that like I worked on. It's kind of like a little trophy.
Yeah.
When did you start doing like live audio?
Around the same time that I got the studio.
Really? How did that happen?
Indeed.com.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I just found this like bar in Santa Monica, and they were like looking for like a live sound guy, and I just lied and I was like, "Yeah, I've done live sound before." Never did, and then I thought I was gonna be like this like crazy big board, but I get there, it's like this like shitty like Yamaha.
Like 8-track?
Yeah, not like you can't sound check a band on that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you turn knobs and that's it.
Yeah.
Started there, and then I started working at Supply and Demand, and then I started working at Midnight Hour a little bit. But I cut my teeth at that bar, you know, with that little shitty Yamaha mixer.
Yeah.
And that's how I met Magenta Moon. Was that they used to have open mics, and they did an open mic, and I was like, dude, come to the studio. There's a couple other people that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that bar was really cool because I was able to like kind of hone in on like two different things at one time. Like I had the studio, and then I had like the live sound thing. So yeah, once I started doing live sound there and people started telling me that it sounded good when I worked there. I just like kind of decided like, yeah, I'll just try it. You know, it was more of like a means to like make money
Yeah.
than like
Yep.
anything. And then I started to work at like other clubs, and then all of a sudden like Full of Hell sends
I was
me
gonna
like,
ask you that.
yeah, it's Full of Hell sends me a DM and they're like, dude, we need a sound guy for this tour. And like I got in touch with Justin Loudon like, from Closed Casket, and he got on the phone with me. Is like, if you do this, you'll make this much money. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Did the tour, and like it was like one of like the like best experiences like ever, dude. Like I've never been on a tour for that long. Like Full of Hell, like Dylan's like one of my best friends now. Like he's like the fucking best, you know. I got to meet so many different people and work in like so many different rooms and like mixing like opera houses and shit like that.
Fuck.
Like,
Damn.
yeah, dude. Like I went from like supply and demand to a 2,000 cap room.
Fuck.
Like,
Wow.
like I was working at supply and demand, left for tour the next week, and I was mixing a 2,000 cap room, and it's like I've never done that before.
Had you done sound for them before?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
So like, how did that happen? To
I
where
had
they
never
had
even hung out with them before that.
How did they not hit you up for that very particular reason?
I have no idea. I
Wow.
couldn't even tell you because like all I remember was like I worked this like shitty death metal show that happened like the night before, and like I posted a funny video of like one of the bands playing, and I was behind the soundboard, and all I could think of was like, oh, maybe like they saw that, you know. I also
Yeah.
did sound for like God's Hate a couple times
Yeah.
or like once before, so I don't know if they saw it, but like Spencer had just hit me up and was just kind of like, dude, like, are you available? Because we need somebody. And like I was just like never something that I thought I would like do was like live sound. You know, I've like it's weird because now like I'm getting asked to do tours that I have to turn down because I'm like I can't be gone for that long. You know.
Yeah.
I got asked to do a Touche More tour, couldn't do it. I got asked to do a tour with Cruelty, couldn't do it.
Wow.
Like
Oh wow.
Wow.
yeah, like I'm getting asked to do these tours. I'm like fuck, dude. Like let me do some nail shit
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
How was it doing sound for them at Sound and Fury?
For Full of Hell.
Well, just for all the bands that you did sound for.
How many bands were you doing sound for?
I just did 4. I did Desmadre, Peeling Flesh, Nothing, and Full of Hell.
Dude.
Yeah. So like, you know, it's cool. Like I love, like, I can't say that I was a fan of Nothing before I got asked to do that, but they're like the coolest guys ever. Like they're the best. And Peeling Flesh, I had done sound for them before at Midnight Hour. And like Desmadre, it only made sense to do sound for them because I produce all their music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it so well. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was able to like have fun and like I knew how all the songs went and stuff.
Because from being in the audience myself, like each of those bands sounded amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank God, dude.
They sound, especially Nothing, because for Nothing, I was like up pretty close.
Yeah.
And it sounded amazing.
Fuck yeah. Dude, it's doing sound at a festival is such a crapshoot because you don't get like a sound check. You barely even get like a line check. You know,
Really?
like for like people that don't know, like a sound check is an extensive period of time that you have to make sure it sounds the way you want it to sound. You save that as a file. When their set comes, you're able to just pull it up.
Yeah.
The sound check comes back. Everything's the same.
It's literally dialed in.
Dialed in. Yeah. Line check is everything's already up. All you got to do is make sure everything is coming through, and you check it, and that's it. And you mix as you go.
Yeah.
Sound and Fury was interesting because both soundboards were right next to each other in the same spot. You got a stage on this side and a stage on this side.
Yeah.
And while you're trying to line check one band through headphones, there's a band playing.
So,
on this side.
so there's the contamination.
It's fucked, dude. Like there's like people talking, like there's like a little like talkback monitor there. There's like people talking during this, like in this, and I can hear voices coming through this monitor, and I have no idea what's going on. Then I have these headphones on, and I hear like the kick drum and I hear the snare, but I have no idea how loud it is in the PA. And like, I forgot who was playing before Full of Hell, but like right after they were done, I had like a minute, and I was like, guys, I need you to just hit everything once. So like Dave hit the kick, hit the snare. I turned it all up. I was like, all right, play just real quick. Played real quick. Spencer played, Gabe played, Sam played. And then I was like, all right, let's go. And thank fucking God, Full of Hell sounded good.
Yeah,
because
dude,
I
it
was
sounded
like,
amazing, dude.
because that I really care about that band a lot. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, if there's any band that I want to do sound for, it's for Full of Hell, and it like really like I put a lot of pressure on myself for them, you know, because I want them to sound good because they're such an amazing band. And thank God they sounded really good because I was like stressed, you know what I mean?
So that was your first time doing a festival?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, outside too. First
Nice.
time ever, yeah. It was really fun.
I know he did a thing to me where he acted like he didn't know who I was.
Wait, at the sound booth?
Yeah, because I walked up, I was like, hey, let me take a picture of you guys. And like I went to take a picture, and they posed, took the picture, and then like I put my camera down. He's like, who the fuck are you, dude? I was like, damn, for real?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Nah, I was tired.
Yeah.
It's good.
But yeah, that was really fun. You know, and doing all the other bands was really fun too. But Full of Hell, I get a certain like itch scratched with that band because they're so good. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I hadn't, you had told me which bands you were doing sound for, and I don't know if it's just like a bias on me, but those to me were the best sounding bands of the weekend. Because the only other one,
praise Jah,
right? The only other one that kind of stood out to me, and it's kind of in a negative way, there was a moments where Twitching Tongues the sound was kind of, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it's a crapshoot at festivals, dude. Like you have no idea what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
And like they had like a whole tribute to Kale before,
Yeah.
and like before they even started playing, they had that going on. And
Yeah.
there was like, you know, one guitar was really loud, one guitar was really quiet. So like that guy had like he had to run for his money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because it's hard.
Yeah.
Festivals are hard, dude.
Yeah, especially when you have time to like get prepared, you know, and you never know. Because like, I mean, I imagine if a band came up, hey, we have a sample we want to play, you know, like, and you're like, okay, now how like now we got to run that through this,
Yeah.
you know, like on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to make sure that like whoever's like working the stage and doing monitors, because usually at festivals, whoever is running monitors is also like making sure that everything is plugged in where it needs to be plugged in.
Yeah.
And then at front of house, you kind of have to rely on them to make sure that they plugged everything in, you know? So like in those cases, like you just have to make sure like, did you get their fucking DI line? And sometimes it's like yes, and sometimes they don't have it and it sucks, you know?
Yeah.
Peeling Flesh had a really bad problem where I think this is more on because they have like their own like monitor setup that they bring with them on their shows. I think they had something like really weird routed up there, you know, but like there's no worse feeling than a band being like, turn it up. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I can't turn it up no more. You know? They were like while they were playing, they were like, Andrew, like we want to feel the subs of the samples. Let's go. And I was like, I literally can't.
Yeah.
Like there's like a physical issue happening up there.
Yeah.
But like it was fine. Like you know, I at that point I think everyone knows it's like, oh, it's festival vibes. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know?
Especially outside too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and there's so many people, there's so many things going on. Like the probability of like human error is like
Oh yeah.
bound to happen.
Yeah, because I mean, I've only ever played like indoor festivals, and normally when they have multiple stages, like they're not near each other. Like say for instance, like at the observatory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like two totally different areas of the building. Yeah.
Both indoors, separate. So there's not a lot of contamination happening. You know, it's more like, you know, I can imagine how much more pressure is added in that scenario, especially given outside.
Yeah, I've done an indoor festival as well, but it wasn't like a 2-stage thing. But it was like it's just stressful. Festivals are like a totally different like fucking game. Like you either work fast or you succumb to the pressure.
Yeah.
You know, because it's fucking stressful, dude. Live sound is 100 times faster than like studio work. 100 times.
I was gonna ask you because I mean I've never done anything like that. You know, so it's like I can imagine, you know, the pressure of being in the studio, listening to it over, getting the mix right. You know. And then once it's done, you send it. And, like, it sounds like that forever.
There's time. Yeah, there's time to make sure to get it to sound the way you want.
You can process it. You can take more time to process it.
Yeah. Like even like when you get to sound check a band, like you only have like an hour, you know, so you take 45 minutes of that to set everything up, and you have 15 minutes to check everything and get it to sound good.
Yeah, because I imagine you have to incorporate the size of the room.
Yeah.
You know, like the acoustics matter for what the playback.
Where you're standing too, like there's like some venues on that Full of Hell tour where I was like, why is this here?
Yeah.
You know, like why is Full of Hell in the side of the room and I'm in the fucking right corner, like in front of these benches, you know? Like it's just like there's so many different factors to live sound for it to just go wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Because there could even, I remember there was like a guy at some show in Canada that we did. Something was like too loud because like I couldn't tell how loud it was, and he looked at me and gave me this like weird fucking look, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude!" Like I heard it too, you know. So yeah, it's a crapshoot with like live sounds. Just
so you want to come over here, motherfucker?
Yeah, you want to fucking mix this shit, bitch? You know?
Yeah, dude.
You fucking long-haired bearded weirdo. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's really fun, and like I think. Besides the live sound, I think the most important part was that like I just made like some of the best friendships I've ever made.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It was really cool with guys that like literally the same thing I was telling you is like these are just peers. They're not like these guys in this like big fucking band. They're literally just guys that like what I do and I like and I like what they do, and their band just so happens to be really popular.
Yeah, it's like the Spider-Man meme, you know?
Yeah, it's like, hey, no, you're cool.
Yeah, cool. Exactly.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and everybody else in that tour was cool too, you know? 200 Stab Wounds is cool.
Yeah,
that man's tight.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
You know, this was fucking time. Long time coming.
Hell yeah.
I don't know why I lagged on asking you.
It's okay.
Even though I had mentioned it a couple times and you always told me you were down.
Yeah.
But it was always just on me to be like scheduling it.
Yeah.
So I was finally just like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
It's cool. I feel like you picked like a better time anyway. Like maybe when you asked me before, I didn't have anything cool to talk about. Now I feel like I have something to talk about.
Man, you always have something cool to talk about.
Dude, and like these pieces just continue to fall into place for you. Dude.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a follow up in like a decade and see where we're.
I'll check my calendar.
Yeah. Nah, fuck all that, dude.
Hell yeah, homie. No, but yeah, you know, go ahead.
It'll be like, oh yeah, so dude, tell us about what it's like playing bass for Metallica, dude.
Oh my god, dude. When Robert,
would they still be a band in 10 years?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I'm like, when Robert died, it's sad, but I'm chilling in my jacuzzi right now, dude. Yeah. Robert Trujillo was cool though, man. Rest in peace.
Fuck. No, but seriously, like, thank you. And then even letting us come to the studio again.
Hell yeah.
I want to thank you for letting me film last time, too. You're like, when you guys were recording.
Oh, yeah. Whatever, dude. Fuck you.
But yeah, that's all. Do you have anything you want to end off with?
No, man. I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad that you like invited me to kind of co-host this with you. You know, like, and
he's like the unofficial third member. So.
Sick.
I come off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get in there, Lopez.
Yeah.
Get in there.
You know, like it's like that. You know, that fifth. What is it? The sixth man.
The sixth man.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Remember when he like keeps like saying his last name and it's like different every single time?
Dude, he messes it up. He butchers it every time.
Garden Hosar.
Dude, I was trying to show that to my son, dude, and I was like, bro, that's so funny. He's like, I don't get it. I was like, he keeps messing it up. And he's like, yeah, but I don't even know what it is.
Rogan Barger. He just changes it every single time. Fuck yeah.
All right, so to end it, I want you to say your favorite line from Juana Man.
Oh my God. Okay, let me think about this real quick. When he goes, I ain't gonna give you no look. Yeah. Hold on. I just fucking rewatched this
again
like, the other day.
Because you had said that last time we were here. You're like, I just rewatched Juana Man again.
Yeah, fuck. I can't think of it right now, dude.
A lot of it's out of pocket though too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's
cancelable or what?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, I think that guy like went to prison
Really?
Yeah, the guy that played Juana Man is like a criminal.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
what's
I'm
up.
confusing him with somebody else, but I
Probably.
swear to God, like I think he like beat someone or
Oh shit.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Or I love like when he gets his name, where they're like, "What's your name?" And he goes, and then in the background they're like, "I'm gonna get some pizza. Do you wanna?" And he's like, "Do you wanna?" She goes, "Do you wanna?" And she goes, "Yes, do you wanna, man?" He's like, "Do you wanna, man?" And that's his name all of a sudden.
Dude, that's so funny.
That's so dumb but funny.
Yeah, that's a fucking really fucking funny movie. Hell yeah, it's like a weird like anti coming of age movie in some weird way. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again. And
Yes.
We'll see everybody next time.
Bye.
Adios.